What's good, guys? This is the Plan C motherfucking podcast. Here with me, Cameron, aka Stoic_Lotus, and my boy
Colin, just at Colin Hamingson. I don't have a cool alias.
But yeah, and you can follow us at Plan_C_podcast
on Instagram and Twitter.
And
check us out on Patreon.
You heard him.
We're hopefully gonna have those.
It is spring break, so the stickers will be done.
Yeah.
I've said it. It is in the world. It will happen.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I can probably post some designs and stuff like that once I finish them in case, just to get you guys.
Yeah, just to get the water boiling.
Yeah, just, because we talk about them for so long. I feel like kind of a shitter for not actually getting them done. But it has been busy, but I am now finished with my work.
Motherfucker's been busy.
And the show, so. Yeah, today.
Talked about TV.
Talking about TV and shit.
Did a new segment called Cameron's Anime Corner.
Yeah, so if you guys like anime, definitely stay tuned. If you don't,
stay and listen.
Tuned.
Yeah, there we go. See, we got through it.
Have an open
mind. Anything else? How's you looking forward to your spring break?
Kind of and kind of not.
Strong response.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Hang out with friends and stuff like that, but I'm also gonna have to do a shit ton of work on my comic, which is fun because it's I like
it's your
comics,
Yeah.
But also it's like a shit ton of work.
Yeah.
Kind of a pain in the ass. Such is life.
Such is life. You gotta do the hard stuff to get to the fun stuff.
Yeah. How have you been lately?
I've been pretty good. I'm kind of tired today. Persona is officially beaten, so I have to start New Game Plus eventually. I just have to decide at which difficulty I want to start it on. But I also had this moment of what game do I really want to play next?
Well, the thing is, your next game is ruined for you. In a sense, unless it's really good.
No, I think I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Well, we should do a video games pod soon.
Oh, I
think
should.
that could be a fun pod.
Yeah.
I think maybe go into XCOM or something.
Well, if you play
2.
XCOM this week, I'll play with you.
Okay. Yeah. So. Well, I'm not playing XCOM until those stickers are finished, though.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to.
Yeah.
For a while anyways. Regardless, this has been a lot of rambling, but
hope you guys have had a good week. Hope you enjoyed the NBA podcast. Kind of us taking a little zag instead of us zigging like usual. And that's kind of the formula of this episode today. We felt like we've been a little, a little too comfortable, and we're talking about stuff that's we can literally just sit down and talk about and not be prepared about, and I think that leads to a kind of stale podcast, especially when we're going for an hour. So hopefully this new format is more inviting.
Yeah, and also soon we'll probably have some guests on.
Oh yeah, that's confirmed. We just got to figure out how that's gonna work with 2 mics, but it'll be okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So new stuff is coming your way, new content for everybody.
Yeah.
Enjoy the pod.
Alright, y'all. So today we are talking about some of the best TV shows, in our opinion, of kind of our lifetime and experience so far. So I know I kind of have a list in front of me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I have a small list. I mean, I don't really have real favorite TV shows, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have shows that I like and I would like to share.
Yeah, what's up? What you got?
I guess for my first show is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't watched it, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, this was definitely a show that I had planned to have on my list. And I think I had 5, and Avatar was definitely one of them that I threw on that list. Easily, probably the best animated American show of the past 25 years.
Oh, for sure. Of our generation, I don't know what else is coming close besides BoJack, and
Maybe South Park. You throw that in there.
I wouldn't. If
South Park's a quality show, man.
it's a quality show. I'm not sure if I'd put it on that level, but definitely good. I mean, like,
Fair.
the thing about Avatar though is just like the world building that's kind of in it. Like, it goes from, like, of course it's like fire, earth, water, air. Y'all know the intro, all that good shit. But how it expands the knowledge of the nations throughout the seasons, to me, is like really incredible.
Yeah, I think another really incredible thing that the show does is oftentimes kids shows have a really bad problem of not being able to develop realistic characters and characters that people can really connect to. And in this show, even when people are able to control elements with their body, you know, these are still characters that you very strongly relate to, and these are characters that are really well written, and you care about these people and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, the characters are like really deep and complex. Like, there are redemption arcs, like Zuko. If you don't know,
Shout out Zuko.
like originally the antagonist of the series, who does a complete 180.
A bitch ass motherfucker.
He was a bitch ass motherfucker with a ponytail and a bald head, and no one liked that dude. But by season 3, you kind of learn more about him. He has some realizations, and he becomes like an adult and makes his own decisions. It's like it's very interesting because it parallels like a lot of the issues that probably a lot of young people face in terms of like wanting to be accepted by his father. And I feel like a lot of people our age at that time, you know, were always fighting for acceptance of somebody.
Yeah.
And it was kind of nice to see my good man, Uncle Iroh, come through and be the type of adult that we would all kind of want to have in our lives, in terms of teaching Zuko how to really become an individual and have his own opinions.
We taught him how to be a man.
Yeah, he really did. Honestly, like, one of the, probably if not my favorite part of the show is Uncle Iroh and Zuko's relationship.
That relationship definitely, it shows that, you know, just because you're not father-son doesn't mean you can't have a father-son relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that showing these kind of realistic yet unique relationships just kind of went on to endear the show, at least for me, because it was like, you know, a blind girl and the savior of the world, you don't think they're going to be able to get along necessarily, but oh, the blind girl's a freaking badass.
Yeah.
I don't know. The show just, it is aged so well.
Oh, if you go back and watch it today, it'll be just as good and also just as funny, because people like underestimate
Yeah.
how fucking funny Avatar. The Cabbage Man, bro.
Yeah. No, there's definitely times of reflection that you sort of have if you go back and you watch it, and it's the experience of, wow, this wasn't just a kid show that I really like. This was a very well crafted and very well written show that has so many layers and just will live on.
Yeah, for sure. Like, even I found like the way that, like, a lot of shows, especially like shows that are like more Japanese inspired, more Eastern shows, have a problem with characters becoming too powerful. Like, throughout the show, like, you know, we saw it with Naruto and stuff like that, of at first being a little kid and now
It's
he's
happening with Goku now.
Yeah, it's been happening with Goku since forever.
Well, yeah, Goku, ever since they went Super Saiyan 3, it was...
Well, I mean, ever since Super Saiyan 1, it should have just been, it could have just been it, you know?
Well, I think if they... this is an aside, and we're not going to spend too much time on this because I could spend a lot of time on Dragon Ball Z, which, an idea for a future episode. I think, well, originally, the creator was going to end it after the Cell Saga, which I think would have been...
Well, I mean, that's like the best saga.
That's the best ending.
And if
Well,
they were...
I think Frieza Saga is actually the best saga, but we can debate on that later.
Yeah, we can debate on that. But, yeah, I think even if they just made Gohan the main character after that, it could have solved some of the problems because it would have made sense.
Yeah.
But
They tried to with this great Saiyaman shit.
yeah, it was dumb.
Then everyone lost their mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Regardless,
so
Avatar does not deal with this problem.
No.
And because you see Aang be like really overpowered at the like episode like 2, you know,
the Avatar
going into
state
the
being-
Avatar state, and that being like the pinnacle, and that kind of stays around, but they do still add new cool things with the power system being like spoilers, metal bending, like when Toph uses the system that's in place being earth bending, and like, oh, there are like minerals in stone that she can make that are in metal, and she uses them to make metal bending, which is a cool ass thing.
Yeah. So moving on to another show that I think has just it's a fantastic show that has aged well, and just for me it's definitely one of my favorites. Just I know this is a big one for everyone, but you know, Breaking Bad is just I know you haven't personally seen it,
I have
but
not.
that show is so fucking good. Shout out Vince Gilligan. Oh man, I can't remember his name. I can't remember I'm pretty sure it's Vince Gilligan, but I gotta look on IMDb. Sorry, America, we're getting IT on this. I can't remember his name. Have it up right here. Bryan Cranston. It is Vince Gilligan. All right. Vince Gilligan, this motherfucker, he's crazy. So by the way, do you know what Breaking Bad lives at in terms of a rating on IMDb?
I have no idea.
9.5 out of 10. It's a high fucking rating show. Just everything from the storytelling to the cinematography to the writing to the characters to the ending. I don't know if a show has hit all of those on the head of the nail so hard. The show just takes you for a ride and makes you like characters that are so complex, and it's just you're rooting for an anti-hero that you yourself don't even know is doing the right thing, but you're just along for the journey, and it's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna get sucked in. I actually think you would love Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I would probably enjoy it. If I have the time, I'll definitely watch it.
Says the man on spring break. No, I know you got stuff to do.
Yeah, spring break's gonna be busy for me. But what about Breaking Bad do you think separates it from like a lot of the shows?
I
similar
just
to
think
it?
it's so not formulaic.
Hmm.
It is. There are episodes from perspectives of different characters. There's episodes where it's just like, wow, you really took a risk here, and you know, following the drug dealer Beaver could have been a really boring episode, but you know what? You made it a fucking great episode because you get to see all these mini interactions that flesh out the world and flesh out characters that, you know, originally wouldn't have been.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, I would suggest that you watch it. It's very, very good. I think it's on Netflix. It's on one of the streaming apps. It's too lucrative not to watch it. It's also, it is phenomenally acted. The characters are given so much to do with such great writing, and they just really knock it out of the park. You know, you look at somebody like Bryan Cranston, originally of Malcolm in the Middle. You think, oh wow, like he is fucking scary. Like he's the one who does kill people. That happens. Oh my god. Like I would never expect Cal from fucking Malcolm in the Middle to be scary and intimidating like Walter White is. It's impressive to see that type of, you know, character development, so to speak, because usually when you see these actors in sitcoms, they really get locked into, you know, their character, and then a lot of the time they're just a character actor for the rest of their career. But this is completely different. It totally shifted the view on Bryan Cranston, and it was like, holy shit, this dude can act circles.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
For sure.
no. So
I would have never expected Malcolm in the Middle.
I know you haven't seen it, so this is just me gushing about a show I truly love. But if you or any of the people out there have not seen it, you need to check it out because it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested by the cast. The cast to me is what kind of looks like it sells the show for me.
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk, Bryan Cranston, just heavy hitters throughout. Giancarlo Esposito, just
great actors.
Great actors.
So my other show,
you got another show for us?
Which is an anime, of course, because it's what I watch.
Hint, maybe we have a new segment called Cameron's Anime Corner coming up, but we'll see about that.
Yeah, and it's an anime that we've actually both watched, and it is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I have not watched that many anime as well, so this is kind of, if I've watched this anime, then okay.
Yeah, it's probably top 3, if not
it's
most top 5 anime.
It's the best anime ever made.
Yeah, probably. It is amazing. It has the concept of, it kind of circles around this concept of like equivalent exchange, being that anything that humanity wants to create, they have to offer up something equal in exchange. Like what was it? There's like an actual physics concept. It has to do with energy. Like how energy doesn't dissipate, it just gets transferred.
Just exchanged. Yeah.
And it's actually kind of fascinating how that concept controls how the show works. And it starts with these 2 characters who their mother passes away, and they try to use alchemy to bring her back to life. And in exchange, the main character, Ed, loses an arm and a leg, and his brother Alphonse loses his entire body and gets shoved into a suit of armor to kind of exist.
A big suit of armor.
A very cool suit of armor. And the story is them going on this journey to kind of get their limbs back and to get his brother's body back. And on the way, you meet all these characters that have dealt with similar issues of people.
There's some Dante themes thrown in there.
Oh, for sure. It's like people trying to get things that they shouldn't be able to get as a human, and the sacrifices that they have to deal with to attain those things.
So what are some themes that really have stuck with you as you have obviously you have finished this series?
Multiple times.
Yeah. So what are themes that have really just rode with you throughout? And when you think about the show Full Metal Alchemist, what is like the first thing that comes to your mind?
I would say it's people trying to become God. That's kind of like what it always reminds me of. It's like,
or people can't become God.
People can't become God, but people will try.
Right.
And what results in the outcome. And I guess the best example is the Ishvalan War, which is something that I think connects to today very well.
Explain
because in Full Metal Alchemist, it has, even though it's Japanese, it does feel like it's in somewhere in England or like
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist, yeah.
It's definitely westernized.
Yeah, very Western society.
It's Victorian. I think like that was kind of the style of the buildings and shit.
For sure.
Anyway.
But there's this situation that goes on that happened in the past before the series started that many characters are a part of, which is this war against the Ishvalans, which are essentially Middle Easterns, which started because one of the Amestrian, which are like the British people, shot a kid in the face, basically, and it kicked off a war in which they wiped out almost all of the Ishvalans. And it really brought to me this concept of morality. Obviously, I was a kid and I was not ready to see all these women, children, everyone just getting wiped out.
Yeah.
In a way which people thought were justified, in which characters that we've seen in a different light for most of the series are shown as basically being murderers. And the concept of relative morality, you know what I mean? Like, from which perspective are things okay and are things not okay? Like, if it's for your religion, can you do all these terrible things and be justified? But in that sense, when you're killing people, even for this, or doing things, they're putting what they believe as God on top of other people.
Gotcha.
And you see that throughout the series of people trying to do things that even characters that aren't human, but characters that are trying to impose things on other people in a way that would be God. And there's always a drastic consequence for it. And I found that to be extremely poignant and very relative to the things that we kind of are dealing with today in terms of people pushing their senses of morality on others.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you another question that I don't think you expected. As an artist, what do you think shows up on screen that is supposed to reflect the theme of the show?
I think it's definitely the transmutation circles. So in order for the characters to use alchemy, they have to literally draw out this circle, and except for the characters that try to become God, like the main characters, who then gain the ability to do this without a circle, but they draw this pentagram, like Satan-looking symbol on the floor in order to use these powers to stretch metal or to make rocks like expand from the earth or whatever it may be.
Powers,
cool powers that make sense. And that to me is, when I saw those symbols, it reminded me of like religious forbidden arts. You know what I mean? Like they're touching on a territory that's very dangerous, that they don't necessarily understand, and they kind of know the rules of, but they're continuously trying to break them. And that visually definitely kind of represented the themes of the story to me.
I like that. Okay, so moving on to just one other series. I think we'll just kind of do two each, and then we'll move on. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Yeah. So I think that personally, I find that sitcoms most of the time are absolutely insufferable. They suck. They're formulaic, and they really want to make me rip my hair out. And especially those with a laugh track. If your show has a laugh track, oh. My God.
Because when you listen to it without the laugh track, they're always like terrible.
They have that. They have like old episodes of Friends where you can go back and you can watch it on YouTube without laugh tracks,
and it's just like, so cringy.
What the fuck am I
what am I supposed to even laugh at?
What the hell?
It's like they need to actually tell you when to laugh in order for it to be funny. It's kind of weird.
Seinfeld, that was a good show with a laugh track, and you can laugh and you can watch it without a laugh track, and it's like, okay, this is relatively okay. Friends, I don't know. They pulled the wool over everyone's eyes.
That's definitely a controversial opinion too.
Yeah. No, I don't care. If you like Friends and you truly like want to defend it, please pull up. Like I've watched a lot of episodes of that show that I don't know. I wasn't for me. Anyway, so the sort of anti-sitcom I want to talk about is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's a great show.
That is
was not expecting you to say that
show.
either.
I would even say it's sort of the live action South Park kind of, in that it parodies real life events better and explains real life events better than like any other TV show really like tries to tackle it. You know, they'll have episodes where, well, okay, let me start over. The premise of the show is you got like 4 people, they all work at a bar, they're all awful people essentially, and it's all of their just like shenanigans, pretty much. It sounds like it would be kind of weird, but believe me, it's fucking incredible. But just, they have tackled issues just like about racism, about, them not getting Emmy awards and shit. And the way they talk about it is like, oh, we're trying to get the bar, this award and that award. And it's like, well, did we not get the award because we're a black bar? Like, no, no, no. Like, it's not the 1960s anymore. And it's like, oh, like, were we nice enough? Did we maybe offend some people? And it's so smart to draw these parallels like that because it's insane people in insane situations, but real life relatable, sort of.
Yeah. It parallels life in a very nice way.
Yeah, and this sort of fantastical, like, oh my god, I can't believe they're that insane type thing. It somehow then makes them relatable. Because it's sort of like, okay, if every time I catastrophize and you were to see what that were to look like, I feel like it would be similar to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Like a show based on like Murphy's Law in terms of
Exactly.
question.
Yeah, please.
In terms of other sitcoms, besides obviously the
ones listed,
what do you think really like changes the game in It's Sunny in Philadelphia in terms of, is it the characters or is it the plot?
I think the thing that immediately kind of just lets it run so free is that never ever has it taken itself seriously. It's never taken itself seriously. It's always just like, it's a bar, it's crazy people, that's what it is. There are literally some episodes where it ends and it's just like, oh wow, like we have regressed so terribly, let's just like get huff paint and, just dance. That's literally been the end of an episode. And so when I think of what separates it as well is that, again, just when they don't take themselves seriously, it allows them to then look at these these problems and allow them to parody them in a way that it's so fantastical that you're able to digest it.
Yeah.
It's no longer necessarily complex. It's just, 5 idiots yelling at the end of the day sometimes.
Yeah, it's not like it's shoved in your face. It's like a bit more subversive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not even that sometimes. Sometimes it really is shoved in your face. Sometimes it's so meta that it's like, oh my god, wow, this is really, really ridiculous. But that's just the thing. It just makes you realize that sometimes our problems are just so ridiculous and meta.
Yeah.
Or we make it seem that way. And at the end of the day, it's like, oh, well, maybe there was a much easier solution for that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's necessarily what the show's about, but, just kind of make yourself think, maybe I shouldn't take myself so seriously all the time.
Yeah. That's a good takeaway from that show, I would say. My other question would be, if you had to pick a favorite character, who is your favorite character and why?
Oh, man, that's such a great question. I am really unprepared for that question. It's either got to be Charlie or Frank. But Charlie, because there's just this innocence to him that makes writing him, I'm sure, just an absolute ball. Because with this innocence, you also get to mix in just like white trash ignorance that just stews together for just this beautiful amalgamation of terrible situations that add up to beauty in a TV show. And Frank, I would say, is probably my favorite because who the hell doesn't love Danny DeVito running around just making noises, dressing up as a wrestler, bursting out of couches naked. Yeah.
Crazy hilarious shit.
Crazy, hilarious shit. I think DeVito's kind of the linchpin that sort of makes everything work. Yeah. So I think we're going to take a quick break, guys, and then we will be back for our new segment, Cameron's Anime Corner. All right, y'all. So today we're gonna, or not today, but well, I guess it is today. But this podcast, we're going to sort of reintroduce a topic that we introduced in an old podcast that we never released. That maybe will get released one day. I don't know. And that is Cameron's Anime Corner. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. This is just I know a lot of people like anime, and some people may not know anime, but this is a good medium where I can talk about the anime that I like, and I think you guys might enjoy. Stuff that you might not have seen before.
Very nice.
Fun stuff.
All right, what do you got for us today?
So today, the anime I have chosen is Samurai Champloo. If you haven't heard about it, it's by the same people that made the very famous Cowboy Bebop, which was turned into TV shows like Firefly and
Great
stuff
show.
like that. Cowboy Bebop, amazing show. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out.
Shout out to Nami for putting me on.
Toonami. But yeah, so Cowboy Bebop is a show set in the Edo period with samurai and whatnot roaming about. And this girl named Fu contracts these two samurai, Mugen and Jin, to help her find the samurai that smells like sunflowers, in quotes. And it's kind of just an episodic journey. Unlike a lot of anime, it is
Someone's gonna get smoked for being for just protecting a sunflower field, but yeah.
such is life. But yeah, so Fu contracts these samurai. It's very episodic, so if you don't really like episodic TV shows, you might not want to watch it, but a lot of anime aren't like that, so I thought I'd throw this out there in case people
Yeah.
that watch normal TV,
Yeah.
might enjoy it. It's a great mix of hip hop and anime and samurai, and hip hop plus samurai is gonna be cool as fuck, regardless. But Nujabes does a lot of the music. Rest in peace. So if you want to see some of his latest work before he unfortunately passed in a car crash, you should definitely check it out for that. I would say that each episode definitely feels fresh, and as you learn more about the characters, the character Mugen is a very wild character, not trained,
Wild card.
yeah, orphan, like he break dances when he fights and shit like that. Very fun and cool. While Jin is the very formal samurai, stoic, a lot of rules, and just the way they interact is hilarious. Despite them they should never actually be able to work together.
Two people who shouldn't work together have to work together.
Well, they
type
don't
shit.
really have to. It's just that
They're
they-
contracted.
they choose to, yeah. But they learn more about themselves and they learn more about each other as we do throughout the series, while Fu just kind of acts as the tie to the main plot.
As somebody who does not watch anime all the time beyond the really popular ones, what would you say to me as to why I should watch it?
You should watch this because most of the anime that is mainstream, while it does deal with like stuff like feeling like Naruto being the kid who was abandoned, the outcast, like very basic stories like this cover like a lot of actually meaningful topics that have to do with Japan and today, like prostitution, orphanhood, homosexuality, religion, religious
intense.
prosecution, like adult topics that actually would mean something to a lot of us today.
I got
And
you.
are worth exploring with a mixture of awesome action scenes of samurais doing flips and killing people and shit, all that good stuff. And I think that overall, it's just the chill vibes of the music with the very sleek action scenes, which like have a lot of choreography from old samurai movies and stuff like that. Very vivid colors, decent story. Like obviously the plot, it's episodic, so each story has its own plot, just kind of following them.
Mhm.
But the characters are also very fun, and I think a lot of people would enjoy it if they gave it a chance.
All right, Samurai Champloo.
Correct.
Kiss Anime, Netflix,
Uh,
Hulu.
Google it. You should be able to find it.
Yeah.
Everything's online these days.
Kiss Anime.
Kiss Anime. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know the
Whatever,
vibes.
wherever you get your anime.
Oh, if I was to rate it, I would
Yes.
rate it an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10. All right.
Very solid. Good for first time watchers. And good for people that like anime
Would
too.
you rate that as an anime or as a TV show?
I would rate it as an anime,
Mm.
mostly just because it has anime vibes. It's like when you
No,
watch.
I meant that. I meant your rating.
Oh, my rating?
Yeah.
Like
if you were to look at it as a TV show versus like an anime, like purely just as a TV show, what would you give it?
Maybe 8. Then again,
Alright.
like I actually don't watch too much TV, so I don't really have too much of a distinction.
Gotcha.
But it just seems like people kind of look for different things when it comes to normal TV.
I got you. All right, guys, that does it for Cameron's Anime Corner. I think you said you had one last question before we wrapped up, kind of about TV.
Yes,
wrapped
to
up
bring
the
it
episode.
to bring everything together. Also,
Yeah.
if you like Anime Corner, if you have anime I want to talk about, please DM me or DM the pod,
Yeah, send
and
us
I will
suggestions.
gladly talk about the anime,
Yeah.
why I think they're good, or why I think why they're shit.
C
Like if you like
underscore
Fairy Tale,
podcast.
I hate fucking Fairy Tale. So stuff like that. Just ask me. But
Yeah, you heard this, man.
the tying question is, what do you like? Like, what are some themes or some things about TV that kind of make a TV show that you like?
So I think first of all, I like well written and relatable characters and characters in not like physical situations, like because I like shows like The Mandalorian where the motherfucker's literally in space, so I can't say that the one time I was in space, but he deals with moral conundrums that I can relate to. And so good writing. I'm a huge fan of cinematography, just in terms of like making the show look beautiful, having beautiful shots, framing your shots correctly. I'm a big stickler of that because I think it's so important to show, not tell. I think that is such an important thing. So that's kind of writing and good cinematography kind of thrown together. What else do I like? I like consistency in terms of, so for instance, the new Jack Reacher show, the Amazon Jack Reacher show with Wendell Pierce and John Krasinski. First season, fucking awesome. Second season, kind of dog shit. So I definitely like season to season consistency, especially if you have like a high drama, high stakes show like that. What else do I like? I like good acting. I'm always a stickler of if you can't cry on camera, like, come on, get your shit together. You're an actor. This is what you're supposed to do. Like that was the one problem I had with Adam Sandler's performance in Uncut Gems.
Really?
Like when he's supposed to be crying, I like Diane and I were almost laughing because it was just kind of ridiculous how it sounded and how it looked. But that's me. What about you?
Well, generally I like shows that are a bit more like fantastical, like obviously because I like anime. Because I feel like when things are exaggerated, you can tackle a lot more issues that if they were realistic would be like a bit taboo or just
and
a bit
just very complex and
Yeah.
lots of gray.
Well, like I feel like people's preconceptions get in the way.
Yeah.
Like whatever they think about the issue will dictate how they feel about the show. But if things are a bit more exaggerated, it might not be in this world, it might be in wherever. You can kind of get that out the way. I mean, I like shows that deal with like philosophical concepts, like Full Metal Alchemist, like the theory about like people trying to reach God and like the problems with that.
Trying to be God. Trying to make God bleed. All that fun shit. Yeah.
All that fun shit. But yeah, I like philosophical concepts like that in my shows just because it can give me something to think about when the show is finished. And like those are the shows that actually have long-term meaning personally for me. I like my biggest thing personally is, I said personally twice, fuck. But my biggest thing is definitely character development. I
always love some good writing.
Love good writing for character development.
Yeah.
it feels so weird to me to see shows where, like, 50 episodes and the character is still the fucking same. I'm like, people just don't work that way.
Which is why, like, the original Naruto is a little annoying.
Yeah, because it's like, don't even get me started. Like, in terms of, if you were to say overrated or underrated for Naruto, what would you say?
Overrated.
Overrated?
Yeah.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. I think there's just a certain luster to it for Western audiences because for so many people that was their introduction into anime.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely say in terms of world building, I think it's one of the best.
Yeah.
Like the world of the ninja, whatever. But
the Land of Fire.
Well, it wouldn't. Is it just the Land of Fire in the series?
No.
Yeah. But
it's the entire continent, but
But like
I don't know what the continent is.
I would say
Naruto
part 1
Land.
Naruto is very good, but Naruto Shippuden is overrated.
I'd say they're both overrated, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to say, like, if you really think about Naruto Part 1 just being in terms of the Zabuza fight, there's Zabuza into the tuning exams, into the Gaara thing and Orochimaru, into, like, the Sasuke
I'm not
retrieval
saying
arc.
the arcs aren't good. I just think it's overrated.
Oh, well, I guess I would disagree. I think Part 1 Naruto is actually very good. But
I'm not saying it's not very good. I just think it's overrated.
agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, I like shows with a lot of character development. That's like one of my favorite things, to see how characters change, and like especially shows, which is also why I like anime a lot, because characters don't just change in terms of what they like talk like
Yeah,
or
I
what
got
they
you.
do. Like they actually have manifestations of
You see it.
yeah,
Yeah.
what that stuff is like. But that's definitely what I
Yeah.
like. Not set in stone, but those are just general. Oh, and good action. Love a good fight scene.
Oh, yeah.
God loves a good fight
You know
scene.
what? I realized I like live action fight scene. Like, if you take the two best, like, the best, like, animated action scene and, like, the best choreographed fight scene and, like, live action versus anime, I'm taking live action all day. Like, if you were to ask me if I want to watch The Raid, part 1 or part 2,
I love the fucking Raid.
or I don't know what's an anime with really good action.
Fate, any Fate series.
Any Fate series, there you go. You know, I'm taking The Raid just because those choreographed fight scenes are so cool. Anyway, we got to wrap up. Anything else about anime or anything else?
I would say for people that have not watched,
you got a recommendation?
not a recommendation,
Okay.
but a recommendation to how to watch anime.
Okay, yeah.
So for people
Subbed. Yeah.
that don't watch anime, or people that are like, oh, I don't really like anime, which is fair. Some
There's
people
a stigma to it.
there's a stigma to it, but I think it's because a lot of the time I hear people say they don't like animes because they're like, oh, well, it's not realistic. And
Yeah,
to
no
that, I say, shut the fuck up.
Neither is Avengers.
Because not only neither is Avengers, but 90% of the TV shows we watch are situations that would probably, if not really, would never ever happen. You know what I mean? Otherwise, most series would be like, based off of so-and-so's life, but they're not, because they're not realistic. So don't be an elitist asshole thinking that the shows you watch are somehow better because you think they're more realistic, when they're all dealing with the same core principles, and that's the point of TV. So approach anime with an open mind. It's just like drawings are no different from characters. They're all made by people. It's all the same thing. It's all not real. So I would say don't take it too seriously. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Don't take anime too seriously.
All right.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. This is a good episode. A little something different for y'all. You got anything you want to plug?
Not so much, but it's been fun. I'll have designs out for the stickers soon. Been saying that, but it will get done. Also, please tell your friends about the pod, because we don't really have too much advertising, so the best way is word of mouth.
Yeah.
So if you know anyone that'd be interested in the pod, please
Tell them
share
about it.
Tell them about it.
Yeah.
We love to hear input.
Yeah.
But you have is great.
Yeah, we love just any interaction. Rate us on iTunes, follow us on Spotify, share the link with your friends, post us on Instagram, check out our Instagram at plan_C_pod, check out our Twitter.
If you have any thoughts on our previous podcast, because we do say sometimes some controversial shit.
Yep.
Maybe you don't agree with it. Let us know why.
And if like
we'll talk about it.
And if we say shit that like makes you so angry you don't want to listen anymore, like let us know. We want to talk to you about that.
Yeah,
then that's interesting.
Our pod is about being open-minded. Free thoughts.
Yeah, seriously. Again, check us out on, unless it comes to subscribing. Don't have free will on that. Subscribe. Check us out, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're all over the damn place. Anything else you got to plug?
Nah, enjoy spring break.
Yeah, enjoy your spring break, guys. This will come out Thursday, 3 p.m. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll release it early again because I like you guys. We'll see. I have been Colin at Colin Hamilton. Here with
Cameron. Stoic_Lotus.
You heard. We are the Plan C Podcast. Hope everyone has a great day. See ya next week.
See ya.